Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Alazouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we'll help you understand post-marketing surveillance for drug-device combination. So we know post-marketing surveillance, but here we talk about two different products that are combined, and here how are we doing this post-marketing surveillance? And you will see that we have some challenges that we'll be providing you, and I hope it will help you if you are dealing with this type of products to understand how to do that, and maybe also help you to understand some challenges that can lead to some problems. So let's try to solve that together. And for that, I have with me Dr. Joan D'Souza, who is a consultant from Switzerland, so not so far from my place. So Johan, welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast.
Thank you so much, Monir. It's such my pleasure to be here with you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. We are really talking about my passion here today. One of my passions, I have many passions in life, but one of my passion is understanding post-marketing safety surveillance of drug device combinations. And I'm very, very excited to be with you here today.
We discussed about that, and also just before, you are really excellent. You have even me. I learn things when when we discuss, so it's really important to maybe have this discussion with the people that are listening. So, just for people that don't know you, can you make a small introduction of yourself?
Sure, absolutely. I am Joan D'Souza, and I'm a pharmacovigilance consultant, as well as I work as a local contact person for regulatory affairs. I do some medical writing, and I'm based in Switzerland, beautiful Switzerland, especially close to Zurich. And I love my place. I know there are beautiful mountains just behind my house, and it's just heaven. While even when I'm doing something really rigorous and I'm working with, regulations, I look at outside my window and it's very peaceful and calm. Thank you so much. Yeah,
I really agree with you. I mean, each time I see, I travel also in Switzerland with the train, and we see all those, all those nature, those
Mhm.
mountains and everything. It's really great. So people come work in Switzerland with us also. So, Jan, so as I said, this discussion I think is important for people that are maybe working in drug device
Mhm.
combination, and
Mhm.
lately also with the fact that EUMDR is including some rules for drug
Mhm.
device combinations. But maybe for people that want to learn more but have no clue what we are talking about, what is a drug device combination, with some examples, can we just make maybe a small reminder for them? What are we talking
Sure.
about? What is a drug device combination? So DDC, I call it DDC usually on my documents, but just to be clear, it's a drug device combination. So can we make just this reminder to them?
Sure, absolutely. Drug device combinations, we kind of know everyone, like, so we work with drugs, we work with medical devices, but these are unique products, when you combine both drugs as well as devices. And then the challenges are both related to pharma as well as related to devices. And that's where the challenge lies, excitement lies, the spark lies,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited to kind of work because this is the area which requires both expertise in pharma as well as in medical devices. For example, when we are working with pre-filled syringes, we are working with inhalers, we are working with drug-eluting stents, we are working with transdermal patches. Um, you know, these products really require your expertise in both the drugs and the devices because they come. I mean, these products combine both, right? So this is where you have to really ensure that you are expert in both the fields so that you can implement your expertise right there. Mhm.
Exactly, yeah. So we have, as I've said, sometimes those drug device combinations are considered as drug, and sometimes they are considered as medical devices. I mean, primarily, they are both, they have both, but mainly primarily. For example, prefilled syringe, normally it's a drug and it contains a medical device because the product that is inside is a drug. But for
Mhm.
example, a stent with this eluting stent, so mainly is
Mhm.
a medical device, but it contains
Mhm.
a drug. So we have also to understand that there is a priority. It cannot be both. Mainly, it's
Mhm.
first there is one rule that is applies, and the other has to follow, etc. So and vice versa. So maybe this is really important. And thanks for those examples because yeah, I think it's really important to provide examples so people really understand what we talk about. So
Mhm.
yeah, those products are drug device combinations, and I hope
Mhm.
now we the foundations are clear. So
Mhm.
now we are here specifically talking about post-marketing surveillance.
Mm-hmm.
So mainly after you start selling the products, you have
Mm-hmm.
to collect those data. So
Mm-hmm.
we have then to talk about the challenges because maybe people
Mm-hmm.
know about post-marketing surveillance, but
Mm-hmm.
when you have now two different products that are combined, how
Mm-hmm.
are we working with that?
Unearth the pulse of the medtech world with MedTech Conf, a dynamic platform featuring global events on medical devices, biologicals, IVD, and pharmaceuticals. Stay informed, stay ahead, connect, share, and elevate your knowledge. Become an official sponsor, make your event shine on the map. MedTech Conf, your key to the medtech universe. Remember, the future is now, and it's at your fingertips with MedTech Conf.
I mean, this is really a challenge for all of us to understand. And that's where we have to really go in depth and understand both the regulations here. I enjoy both. I mean, I enjoy both pharma as well as medical devices. And you know that, Moni, we have worked in the past together. Um, so it really, really requires in-depth understanding of both, the regulations which are related to pharmacovigilance, regulations which are related to vigilance system. And you and I, we both know, Moni, that in EMA, I mean, you have to report to both. I mean, if it's
Exactly.
a drugs or the device. In FDA, they have their own regulations as well. So the challenge here lies in understanding how do we ensure where is the adverse event related to, whether it's related to drug, whether it's related to device. And this becomes really, really complex when it is specifically when it's an integrated, when the device becomes integral or the drug is an integral product of the device, right? So how do you understand where is the adverse event? Where how do you understand, especially when it comes to modification of the system? And it gets modified, then you have to go back and understand the traceability of this adverse event. And because, like the FDA calls about the primary mode of action, even the EMA is kind of emphasizes that. So where do you report? How do you report? What are the reporting guidelines? How do we collect the data? And, these days we have so much of data which we keep gathering. Then you have to really kind of go back, do some good traceability, understand the adverse event, where it lies to. So these are certain challenges which kind of we come across, because this can affect the reporting guidelines, navigating through this complex multiple regulation, understanding in-depth analysis of these regulations, again, which can become a challenge, because then this can lead to recall of the product, it can lead to certain legal actions. So these root cause analysis, understanding these gaps are very critical in drug devices, because you're not just dealing with drugs, you're not just dealing with devices, you're actually dealing with both, right? So that's where the excitement is. That's where the challenge is, right? So yeah, I mean,
Exactly. So one of the things that is interesting when you are saying that is more starting to think, maybe people start to think and say, yes, it's true. When I have an issue, the MDR, for example, asks me to report within 15 days
yeah.
things, but the EMA asks maybe something else. But for the moment, I don't know if the problem lies with the medical device or the drug. So should I report on the medical device while maybe in the future I will discover it's a drug? So I, I see the minds of people blowing, saying, "What
I
should I
understand
do exactly?"
exactly. It's mind blowing, and even like and especially you and I, we both are in Europe. We know that even we have the notified bodies which were involved. So how do you deal when every notified body is asking for a different documentation system? And they have their own system of classification. Then that can affect the reporting guidelines. So and that can affect the primary mode of action as well. So I think what's really very important is to understand, do a strong root cause analysis, understanding these gaps, and ensuring that both FDA and the EMA both work together in harmonization, so that we avoid all these legal costs, we avoid all these battles, and make sure that we have an harmonized reporting guidelines, we have a harmonized registration guidelines as well as reporting guidelines, and we have a harmonized post-marketing surveillance. so that we kind of avoid this wastage of money and, delayed reporting systems, delayed corrective actions, I
So
mean,
should
yeah.
we advise then people to when we are starting to work with such device, because as we said we have different types of devices
Mhm.
that are drug device combinations. So maybe to really investigate, because here we talk about FDA and EMA, but it can also lies with other countries also. So
Exactly.
mainly to investigate what are really the rules for each of those countries and
Mhm.
try to harmonize that within your quality management
Correct.
system, to have maybe one report that maybe has a bit more information on it, but this information is important for FDA, maybe not for EMA, but this maybe will be helpful for both countries at the same time. So the idea is, let's try to have one way to do it instead of
Yeah.
having 10 ways to do it for different countries.
Exactly. Does it make really sense? At the end of the day, we are working on cross borders, right? I mean, we are not just working in Europe. I know I have clients in the US, I have clients in other parts of the world, Japan and Asia. I mean, if we have to work together and ensure that we avoid all these excessive costs and ensure that we ensure patient safety in this process. Yeah. Mhm.
So, do we see already some kind of maybe differences between FDA and EMA in terms of regulation and classification, etc.? So, do we see already some cases like that?
I mean, there are multiple cases. I guess if we have to sit here, we can talk about so many cases, and I guess we kind of will exceed the time required. What I really want here to make sure that we develop a proper channelized system in this process. We just kind of not deal with we don't want to say that this is the FDA system or the US system or the European system or any other. We just want one system, and so that's why we are working towards it. And I really, really would call everyone to, join hands with me in this process. Mm-hmm.
Hey, just a second. Do you need a EU, Swiss, or UK representative? Then choose Easy Medical Device. We can represent you and also become your importer. Contact us at eo@easymedicaldevice.com. So we have post-marketing surveillance for drug. We have post-marketing surveillance, as you said, also for medical devices.
Mm-hmm.
So this, there are maybe different ways to do the things. Do you see some guidelines? Because we know for medical devices, mainly it's about the MDR. It's about all those MDCG guidance, maybe to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If we go on the EMA or the FDA for the drug, is there any guidance or any documents that we can maybe
Mm-hmm.
recommend
Yeah.
in this
Uh-huh.
Christmas period? People to read. I mean, Christmas. This episode maybe will go after Christmas, but mainly people to read maybe during their holidays.
Sure. And if you don't get enough sleep in the previous night, this will help you to even put you to sleep
Exactly.
and help you to deal with your insomnia. So we have the FDA guidelines, we have the 21 CFR 803, which deals with medical devices, or we have 21 CFR 314, which deals with drugs. We also have pharmacovigilance regulations, the GVP guidelines. I'm really a total fan of that, along with the MDR as well. So I would recommend you to go strongly and read all the GVP guidelines if you want to report for adverse events for related to drugs, or with the MDR. You have the guidelines as well right there with the newly revised MDR. So I strongly recommend you to get good good strong foundation by reading these guidelines, which are related to, because at the end of the day, you have to understand the vigilance system in the EMA as well as the adverse event reporting system when it comes to reporting of serious adverse events or adverse events. So get a good strong understanding related to post-marketing surveillance by reading these guidelines, both in the FDA as well as the EMA. And I'm sure if you are as passionate about me, you will become, super and great. And by the time the Christmas holidays get over, I'm sure you will be able to get a good handle on drug device combinations. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And just a reminder also to people that are maybe in the pharma industry or maybe working there. Yes, there are still, I mean, I still see some manufacturers that don't know about the MDR related, Article 117 related to the drug device combination. So this is something also that to be careful. If you are submitting your drug product to the EMA or to the authorities and they are blocking it, it's mainly because you haven't consulted with the notified body for the device part following the MDR. So this is something that to remind, because sometimes I have people contacting me and say, "Oh, Munir, we had this issue with the EMA. They ask us for an opinion from a notified body." Yes, it's the new rule with the Article 117 of the MDR. So if your product contains a medical device, and it's a drug and contains a medical device, you need to ask the opinion of a notified body. So yeah, don't hesitate also to verify that with Article 117. But this is one of the common issue that I get from people that are also working with the drug device combinations here.
Exactly.
For you, so Johan, so mainly, how can you help people that are listening now to this episode here?
So yeah, I would be very, very happy to support you if you are and if you are into the business of drug device combinations. I would really encourage you to contact me when it comes to post-marketing safety surveillance, as well as I'm also involved in regulatory. I also work as a local contact person for regulatory affairs. So I can help you both related to registration as well as post-marketing safety surveillance of drug device combinations. I also do some medical writing, so I would be happy to support you in that area as well. And do connect with me, not now, but after Christmas holidays. Because this is the time I really want to spend and enjoy. And as you can see, my Christmassy hat, I'm already in the mood of Christmas right now.
Exactly.
And yeah, and I hope we connect each other after Christmas and deal with these complex regulations related to drug device combinations.
Exactly. I will put all the details of Johan on the show notes, so don't hesitate to check with her also on LinkedIn. I will try to look at all those guidelines that we talked about and place maybe the links also on the show notes so that people can find them directly. And if you have questions, mainly for Johan also on this topic, so don't hesitate to ping her, as I've said, on LinkedIn, and maybe ask her directly for any topics, any question about that. Okay, so for people that are listening, so thanks again for, Happy New Year, I think, first, because as I said, it will go on January. We record that in December, but it will go on January. So Happy New Year for everybody. And yeah, if you have any projects or anything that you want also to work on, so don't hesitate to send me an email at info@easymedicaldevice.com. And if you have any topics also that you want for this year to be discussed during on the podcast, so don't hesitate also to send me an email. Really happy to find the right person, and maybe Johan can be the right person for a certain topic, so that can also help again some of the auditors. So if you have any topics, so also send me an email at info@easymedicaldevice.com, and I will try to find the right person to talk about that and to interview on this episode. Okay. So, Johan, it was really a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much again. Thanks for your help and for highlighting this topic of post-marketing surveillance for drug device combinations. And I hope it will help people to understand that there can be some issues. So better to liaise with maybe some people that are knowledgeable on that and that can help your team. Okay, so Johan, thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.
Thank you so much, and Happy New Year. And I hope to connect with you, after in 2025. If you need support with drug device combinations. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.